sound should be good. There's a friendly. Yeah, is that what it was? Evening. You all right? I'm going to hear this time. Because you took weight. Otherwise, it's always here.
There's no signal there. So guess what happens?
You do your song, Terry.
I don't know, you don't want to hear me singing, don't you? I'll get the wife to come in and do that.
It's one of the most singing voices. Junior school after mine.
Really?
Absolutely fine.
Growls.
But we did it already.
Yeah, I'm not going.
You did more of it? Pardon? You did more of it. I've done 4. Quite addictive. It is. Like, oh, what can you find out next?
Might not get to ask them with the county council. Might not get to ask them. Went through contract. They're so slow to get them done. I think so.
It's also like a lot of
They're so
where they've done repairs.
They're so
It's where
fresh.
the noise are that's then creating another issue because the repairs come away or drop.
Yeah, not to hurt Stephen half the time as well. Yeah, it's
Dipped again or how.
initial road resurface is fine. It's when they dig up the just so something when you've got some stuff. Oh, I think it's yeah.
Because I'm just mad for the next
Yeah.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
I've had that previously. And you just went to something.
I took Brickley's on Tuesday.
I just had to split myself to
Oh yeah, we've got one of them to do. You pay for it, and I guess they just go wander around. Yeah, we went to do one back in September.
We'll have to ask you to check it looks so you can see this.
Rob's coming later.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, so that's it. Then it's not me. Okay.
Is that the actual pack?
No.
For my new member. Okay, sorry. No, it's all right. I just being cheeky. I'll put it up.
So they wouldn't have had it.
No, I understand. It's all right, Wendy. Just I don't print out.
Yeah, it's like in the dark. I did have a big screen. I might start that again, didn't we?
It would be really good that.
Right.
I've just got to find it.
It is difficult because I have to project it a bit.
Yeah. I'm quite happy to sit in the dark. Yeah, we could have a TV.
It's not my bed.
It's not your bed.
Well, I'll make a start. Thank you for attending this evening's meeting. First item is apologies for absence.
Paul Heinrich and Paul Brand.
Okay, thank you. Item number 2, declarations of interest.
Yeah, no, fortunately, no.
Thank you. Item 3 is the minutes of the last meeting.
I did amend them, so I did amend the date, next ordinary meeting, and I put a better, I put a special, the special condition was a bit ambiguous, so I put North Walsham Agreement receives any other grant or donations from other donations, they have to be reimbursed. Sounds better, doesn't it?
Does anyone have any points?
Just on the extraordinary meeting, I can say that our grant application with the support of the town council was successful.
Good to know.
It's just more work.
If no one has any points,
First one
yes, so
first, yeah.
the 28th of October then, so I propose that we accept those. If someone would like to.
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favour? Eric?
Yes.
And also the extraordinary meeting on the 13th of November. As we accept that.
I'll have to abstain because I was absent. I'm happy with the second.
Okay.
Yeah.
All those in favour?
Yep.
Okay, good. The matters arising, clerk's report.
I'll just give you a verbal report, just to let you know, I haven't told, but my qualifications.
Well done.
I've signed all the forms for the community payback, which is the community payback people who come in, nobody knows what they are, they're people who have to do community service, and community payback, so they'll come back. There's 3 areas where we're looking at and working, which is the Memorial Park, Woodville, there might be condition with Woodville, and the cemetery, so it'll be the cemetery and the Memorial Park, which is their main things, and they'll be coming in. And bus shelters, they can clean all bus shelters and just give the whole town a tidy up. And I think they're coming, we can have them like maybe for 2 days a week, as long as we need them. I'm sure we can find loads of
That's
things
about
for them
8
to
people, I
do.
think, as well.
Yeah, between 8 and 12, I think, so we're going to make use of them.
So the town should be very shiny.
Yeah, if I can keep them forever, that'll be brilliant. I had a walk around with Laura and Lucy today, but I'm sure Lucy will tell you a little bit more about that. I'm pretty exhausted. I've been to, I thought I'd let you know that I was on the Norfolk Executive Committee, and I've been to some meetings for that. So I've written to the Norfolk District Council about market rights. But our market, it says we own the market rights and it's on our asset register. I later looked at when I was looking at the asset register, so I'm not sure. I have sort of said, I think they're ours, but I need you to confirm that in writing because they are on our asset register. And I've also written to NNDC and asked them, or confirmed to them what we'd like to take on the benches and the bins in the marketplace.
These are the new ones that went in.
With the house projects, because we weren't too sure who they were and whether they'd been passed on to us or not. So I think it was brought up at a previous meeting, so I thought I'd just like to them. I'm waiting for hear back from them. Today, James and his team dealt with some union flags on streetlights down Spencer Avenue. The streetlights belong to us, these streetlights. We did get, police have had a couple of complaints about them. With the county council wrote to us to say what can we do about them, so I just said we took them down. And when taking them down, we found out that one of the street lights is damaged at the bottom, so I'll have to be right. I will get in contact with our street contractor to see if they can mend that, because it's the door that goes over the electric, so that will need to be mended. I'm in the midst of preparing the budget with Jess. The wires across the marketplace Specsavers won't allow us to put any hooks or anything on there, so I'm having to think about something else. I might go across the road down to the building next door to Pack, because I can put some wires on that. But I did go into the dentist today to see if they would let me, and I'm waiting for a call back from them. I've got prices to put the bollards in. I think it was agreed to put bollards outside the church. So I've got the price of bollards to put them outside the church. I'm just waiting for a quote from a contractor about installing them. But whether we do it this year or whether we have to wait, I don't know. The tree in the cemetery has been looked after we had a complaint. Churchyard. Tree in the churchyard has been cut after a complaint about that. And me and my team have been busy putting Christmas trees up, lighting Christmas trees. We've got a Christmas sleigh coming, reindeer coming, and a selfie board. We've also got somebody coming to do a video and a piece on Christmas light night. I did speak to Colin to get him involved with it, because I just think it's better if we work together, and then it'll go round to the Christmas market as well, but they are coming out to do a piece on that.
So where will that video be used?
It's I'm not too sure yet. I'll have
Is
to
it for us to
speak
use,
to-
or are they?
Yeah, we
using
can
it
use them, so we'll put them on our Discover North Walsham board, but it's also for district to use, because they gave us the lovely marker grant, so it's to do with that. The switch on is on Saturday. Switch on lights at 6 o'clock. The event starts from, I think the Christmas market in the precinct starts at 12. The other stuff starts at 2, and that's on until 7 o'clock in the evening. And the Explore North Walsham, or Discover North Walsham, I think, the one where we got the grant from, the TAP grant, is going to be a spring campaign, so it'll go out in spring, because we thought we can take better pictures in the spring of the town and shops. But I will be having a meeting with businesses in the North Walsham Business Association in January to discuss what they like, how they can see the website development and things. Any questions? Anything else? Been busy.
Just on Specsavers, what was their justification for not allowing us to?
Specification is that they had a problem in Melton. I've seen them in Melton Constable when they put wires across there and all fell down. I did go back to say I'm very disappointed, because I've had a surveyor come and I've had my street light contractor. So they are managed by Brownco, and Brownco all the other businesses have said yes. We'll make alternative arrangements.
Well, there was a different plan.
Yes.
Okay.
Have we made any progress yet on like clarifying with the district about ownership of street furniture and market?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, I've written to them.
Oh, right.
I've written to them, and I'm just waiting for them to reply.
Right.
I spoke to
Doesn't matter.
the district councillors,
Yeah,
the
fine.
district
No, that's
councillor,
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Councillor Lucy Shires, and she was keen to that.
Yeah, we just
I've
need to
spoken to the people
clarify.
at
That's
district. Get it in writing, get a licence or whatever they need to do.
Okay, thank you. So, Mayor's announcements, we've already mentioned the Christmas light switch on
Oh, sorry.
Saturday. I can't get to that, but Helen is stepping in as Deputy Mayor to press the button or whatever has to be done
Oh,
for the Shillingham slot.
so will you be there for Sunday market? Okay, so I'll speak to you about that later.
Okay, so next item is co-option. We have two new prospective councillors here, Sammy Leavyton and Stephen Nichols, both of which came into the interview last week, or the week before, I've forgotten. Last week. So we're very happy to propose those to you all.
We do one at a time.
Yes, okay, yeah. So I'd like to propose Sammy then as a councillor. If someone would like to second that.
Yeah.
All in favour?
Hang on a minute.
Oh,
Second. Okay. I'm all in favour, yeah.
Lord. Also like to propose Stephen to join us. Second. Lovely for that. All in favour? Thank you.
Would you like to come
Well,
up
thank
to
you
the
very much.
Would you like to come up to the table, and I just have a declaration of acceptance for you to sign.
Sign your lives away.
So if you want to like to sit, I think if
That's for Robert when he arrives, sorry.
like to sit there and there, that'd be brilliant, thank you.
When he arrives.
Right, so if you could fill there and then there, and then I'll sign it. Yeah, and I've got a pack for you guys.
Wait a minute now.
If I can see you both at the end of the meeting.
There he is.
Thank you very much.
Yes, brilliant, lovely.
But, we haven't got our name badges in front of us today, so that's why we'll
Got to
just start by, you'll just introduce yourselves, and I'm sure you'll forget, but we'll start off with Robert. So we've got Sammy and Stephen joining us now.
Say hello quietly to right. Welcome on board. Love to be with you. Julia and I both joined them just about a year ago now. And we live on Bluebell Road.
I'm Julia, other half.
Does he always speak for you?
Not normally.
Yeah, I'm Roger. I've been with the council about 75 months now.
Laura, I rejoined the council about 5 months ago.
Bob Wright, as we previously met.
Yeah.
I'm Helen, I joined in January.
Yeah, I'm Terry Scout, joined in January as well, and obviously, live in town, Longbarrow Drive, and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And I'm Eric Seawood. I joined in February 24. I previously served on the town council for 2 terms between 2007 and 2000.
Would you like to introduce yourselves? I'm so excited from today. Liz Shies, I'm the County Council for North Walsham, East Council for North Walsham. And I sit on the cabinet at the
I'm Mal Gray. I'm the
And I'm Wendy Murphy and I'm the town clerk.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
So the next item is the public forum section for district and county councillors. So I think you're doing both of those today, Lucy.
I can do full man talks about things, obviously.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about
So there's a number of things. I want to just touch on Wendy and Laura's contribution today. For Wendy, when she turned up in heels, I did ask whether or not she would like to switch to trainers, but she said she was fine. So we have walked and done a public round walk today. Laura's discovered the joy of how you report things.
Sounds quite exciting, a bit addictive.
So we focused on Bacton Road, the Acorn Estate, and back round to Munsey Road. I think we covered about 5 miles, around 2.5 hours. We only got a little bit of rain. I think one of the biggest things that we discovered were the Anglian water meters, which you can see on the Acorn Estate, which are actually sinking into the pavement. So Anglian water must be aware of it because they are replacing them as they are happening. But I think that was one of the most prominent things that we did find, and a lot of uneven road surfaces and pavements and stuff. So Laura's taken enough photographs to run a phone out of battery today.
Yep.
So Laura's got reports, and I've got about 97 defects, and I think Wendy's got some as well, so apologies to everybody that lives in that area. You may experience some disruption while the issues are fixed. And so whilst it felt like it was a lot of the town, it really isn't. So as I've said to everybody, you are more than welcome at any point to join me on the East Division walk. And hopefully the weather will be mostly as good as it was today. But we'll be able to update as that goes through. And last time we met, I mentioned that I was bringing together the North Walsham East Division clerks in the hope to create some stability for town and county councils in the face of LGR. First meeting was very successful in that, and there is a plan going forward for the clerks to get together. I believe when the next meeting is in January.
Yes, it is,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's going to be completely clerk-led, which is fantastic, and to create a network, potentially share ideas, maybe resources as things progress, but hopefully there'll be a space for councillors to come together. Just, we don't know what's happening. The local government reform or how much support you guys can get, so hopefully we can create that network now, which is quite exciting. I can confirm that Colin Jerry has written to the district council to ask them to leave the toilet system on through both New Road and Vicarage Street, and we've had confirmation that will be happening. Which is beneficial. I think they're saying open to late. I know last year, I don't believe the request got in. So hopefully it will solve some of the issues that were there last year. The other two updates, I've got to apologise that I didn't get my report over to you, which I normally would have done when you accept my apologies for that. I had some difficult time-intensive cases to work on. The two issues that I wanted to highlight. I had spoken briefly about some of the issues on Market Street with regards to fines that people are getting since the double yellow lines were removed. I have got the data, despite telling me that there is not a problem and everything's okay, I've got the actual penalty notice data now. So I'll read it out when I will send you a report to the actual items now. So the improvements happened in 2023, I believe, when the lines were completely not replaced after the service was redone. So in 2018 there were 30 notices issued, in 2019 there were 45, in 2020 there were 44, in 21 there were 73, in 22 there were 49, but in 2023 we saw 162, which is quite a good leap. In 2024 there were 211, and when I requested the data at the end of last month, to date there were 169. So the evidence shows that from the removal of the double yellow lines, there had been a large increase in penalty notices, which was the one thing I was told was not happen. So I have asked for the yellow lines to be reinstated. I believe that the income from the penalty notices should pay for that. I'm expecting some pushback. I will absolutely update as and when I hear more regarding that. I'm not going to think that this is going to be an easy thing to solve. And then the other issue that I've worked on with thanks to Claire is the flooding on the Norwich Road bypass. So I'm aware that the team have been out. So I have got an email that was sent to me yesterday from Justin and May, which you've been talking to, but I'll read it out to council so that you're fully aware. So this is Justin's response, which doesn't offer clarity, but shows they're not ignoring the problem. The traffic signals upgrade works were completed in June of this year, and some drainage assets were upgraded and cleansed on completion of the scheme. I've discussed with the engineer who supervised this, as it's unclear at the present time why the gully, for example, on the northwest side is flooding the skate park. Given the age of the system which was installed when the bypass was first built, some elements of the survey which were carried out prior to the scheme were not completed. Part of this may be in fact linked through the skate park. When I visited the site last week, there does not appear to be obvious leak or silt covering the frame gully wall. Topsoil runoff from the new verge might have probably returned. Gully on the south-east side, which has been prone to detritus has been cleaned out over 10 times over the last 5 years. That's twice a year. For 6 of these have been during the autumn months, so it's prone to flooding mid-October to the end of November and so for example, January and then again in October and November. Silt is clearly visible around this asset, but we're having more severe weather events more. I'm afraid there is more questions than answers at the minute. A tanker is, however, scheduled to attend site this week, current week out of hours, to cleanse the round. So this has been an issue that has been ongoing for years. I've reported it annually, so hopefully we will see some traction now on how that's all. So I'll update, but I'll put all this in there. And then the other thing that I know Wendy was conscious of is, as we were on our way up tonight, there'd been signs saying there's going to be a UK Prime Network work done in the marketplace on the 23rd, so 2 days ago. They've started it this evening. The work will be done overnight. The hole that they're digging, may not be replaced overnight, but will be replaced tomorrow, so it won't affect the Thursday market. It won't affect the Christmas event. I have normal market. And then from a district perspective, it all really weirdly interlinks. There's no clear report from the west at the moment, because obviously that was the Norwich Road piece, but we are in the budget setting process at the moment at the district, and there is potential again that central government will look to remove funding from the district and push it back into the metropolitan areas. So heads up on that. I have got some information, but it's not concrete enough to share. But I don't believe that the government will recognise the assessment. We should hear more about tomorrow, but we should get official.
Right. Keep mine short, shall I? Bins, I think the bin, temporary bin solution is still working far better than the other system. Multiple bins everywhere and all over the place. There you rightly point out that some bags have been tipped there, but they were remedied fairly fast. Unfortunately, the landlord responsible for the scaffolding in the area that's identified is been a little bit slow, maybe. So I think I'll have to meet with him to give him a nudge. I don't believe there's a scaff tag and such in place. It's been a bit of a running theme just recently, the scaffolding in the town centre. Tags and things missing that shouldn't be. So I'll get that chased up. Other than that, it's been lots of supporting residents with lots of queries and homeless situation. Last amount of time. Although Andrew and Water are supposed to attend the meeting at district overview and scrutiny, so I should raise if they've got any interest in their water meters, those, and then update you guys from there.
Okay. Lucy, do you know what the frequency is for cleaning gullies generally around town?
So I would really love to believe that they do it when they know that we're going to have the most rain. It generally isn't like that. So as we've done today, our pothole walk, we've inspected every single drain, and at times both Wendy and Laura were just off inspecting drains as we were doing other things just to make sure. So I would wish it was more frequent than it was.
On Sunday when we had all the rain along Yarmouth Road between Thurman Avenue and Greg's Court, 10 gullies and 8 of them blocked, which I have reported, but I've never actually seen a suction tanker there.
Do you know, I don't believe that I have ever seen any things. I've seen the highways engineer with a giant pole cleaning them. I've seen the ditches doing it, but like the mysterious street sweeper, as in the machines, they're very rarely seen, although I know our actual roads.
There was one last week
Yeah,
on the Norwich Road and Grand
They-
Road.
they
I saw them.
they tend to be really early. I've called them a few times now, about 6:15.
Yeah, the sweeper's often around, but
Yeah.
not the suction. Also, I think the Yarmouth Road's probably got the most trees in it of any road in town, so that obviously makes it worse.
It would be interesting to know the way that water flows into those as well as to what's blocking them, because we have issues on on Spencer Avenue where we had all that collapsed infrastructure.
Yeah.
So the soakaway there that was repaired was very different to the other collapses that were on the opposite side of the road where we had some property flooding. So I will ask Justin, I can have a plan of where it goes and then potentially have a problem solved by.
But the plots were, you know, when the water did go down, you could see it was full of detritus of some kind, so.
Yeah. I can ask the question on regularity, if that's
Yeah.
okay. You can let me know.
Traditionally, it should be annually, but whether they do that, I don't know.
I would love to say that they did, but I'm not entirely sure.
Thank you.
Chair, if it's any consolation to our town, I travel a lot of North Norfolk with my job, and everywhere is suffering. And there are floods everywhere, and some of them aren't just little floods; they are lakes right the way across the road, and they're deep. You know, up to the sill of the car. It's bad everywhere.
Unfortunately, we have seen that increase more and more over the last 10 years. And the climate is changing. We are getting more and more rain and more wet periods. And I know that Wendy's had some issues and the council had some issues down the trackside with the water table there. I can't tell you what the solution is going to be because the water needs to go somewhere. I feel a lot for some of the areas that are prone to flooding in the town. When it rains, my heart leaps because I know that there are areas that are going to be stressed about it.
I've passed 2 fire engines today on my travels, and they were obviously going and being pumping out places.
So the difficulty with pumping out is that it has to go somewhere, and generally where you're pumping out a place is because more water's going to fill it. We've had the same issue in Hainsborough. I mean, I can ask what the wider water management strategy is going to be, but we are behind. I know we're behind. We're catching up now, but I received 3-4 years ago, and I'm recently getting more and more. But I did ask last year that the council turned down.
But Broadland Authority were on the television the other night saying how bad it is on the Broads, especially with the very high tides. And the trouble is, it pushes the whole water table up for the whole county.
And on top of that, the district council has to pay a levy to support that as well, to support the pumping and all the infrastructure down there. So it's not just the coastal erosion that we're seeing, flooding that some of the villages may experience when the sea overtops. It's the Broadland issue, and obviously we've got the inland issue, and then ambient water. We stop, you know, we need to stop using water.
Yes.
The only other query that I have then is obviously, there are proposals in and around about quite a lot of houses now to be built in and around Walsham.
So this runs in tandem, I think, with Anglian Water, who have assured us that there's adequate water management in the same way the county council telling us there's adequate water drainage. So if we think about the NW16 site, and a lot of questions have been asked about local residents, the adequacy of the plan, there's lots of ways that they're looking to manage the water on the land as well. And the county council have been trying to do that, but what that will create is little ponds in areas which will capture, dissipate as the water soaks away. I'm not entirely sure how well that's going to work with Linfield, for example, where they just get flooded when all the water system breaks down. The experts are telling us they've got it covered.
However, expert angular water are at waste management.
Yeah. Thank you. So if there's no other points there, do we have a report from the police?
She was going to send me one today, but she's not sent.
Okay. And the members of the public? So,
Yes. Yes, you guys went this morning to the Do the roads, the gullies.
There are
This
more,
morning?
it was this afternoon at about 1:20 when it was the drive.
Well, I'm just a bit disappointed as to why the Healthier North Walsham was cancelled right at the last minute, 4:30 yesterday afternoon for this morning's meeting. I'm very disappointed in that. The meeting did still go ahead. There was still a few people around the table.
I cancelled it
I know.
because they didn't have enough people attending it, and the people who were coming to present it weren't able to come and present, so there was no presentation.
Because people still arrived this morning.
They all got
Some
an email
didn't
last
know,
night.
and some people didn't get the email. And some were actually cancelled when they could have actually still turned up and had a meeting. So I'm quite disappointed.
It's not actually our event, was it? You just said, was it?
I just sent an invite out. There was
the
the
council-
district.
You guys can, you cancelled it. So it points to council, I'm afraid. There was other people there from other agencies. But not you guys, because you cancelled it. Second of all, talking about, water, 54 houses, which I know is coming up this evening. I know I missed last month's. Obviously, more people are more passionate about Munsley Road than they are about Station Road, which I'm quite disappointed because that's the only part of North Walsham West where there could possibly be a place, field, a memorial park, something on the west side, because the bypass cuts North Walsham in half. And considering the 54 houses are just at the back of the skate park, where all the flooding is kind of happening, they want to put in a 1.6 metre basin to collect this water. I can't see anything to do with lights. It's in a position where you can't see it. I am concerned about dogs, children, antisocial behaviour around this area. I know we've got another basin up there where the 344 houses are being built. I'm not confident, so I'd just like to say from the North Walsham West, I'm not happy with it. And I'm sad to see Paul's not here this evening. I know that you're North Walsham West, Eric's North Walsham West. I just don't feel like enough has been done to fight for that piece of land and the history that that land has. I'm really disappointed. And that's all I've got to say.
Can I just add, I think it's really, really fair to say that North Walsham West does not have enough green space at all.
Nothing.
It really doesn't have enough green space. The green space is mostly verges and weeds that are growing on.
And we're
pavement.
talking about North Walsham, healthier North Walsham.
So
You know,
I wasn't part of the organisational process, so I don't know.
were you aware of it?
In the last minute, yes, I was. But I think the bigger picture about North Walsham West is it's underserved by everything. You've got one con shop, there's no public meeting space, there's no community space, there's no outdoor space. So whatever plans do come up, that's really got to be thought hard for, because otherwise it's mostly tarmac. And I don't think that that's good for the well-being of the local community. It's not good to get people out of their homes, you know, improving their health in general, but even socialising at all. The difficulty with the former playing fields is under private ownership.
That you were rented out, the district council was renting until 2023. It's only been up for sale since 2023, since district stopped paying for it, the rent of it. That's what I found out.
Okay, I will look back into that, but if a private landowner wants to sell their property, we have no control over it there,
It's an
unfortunately.
educational field under Aston. Aston Foundation owns it.
Yeah.
District was paying Aston to keep it as an educational field.
I will investigate that, but
Please do.
we cannot prevent a private landowner from selling their land. We have no jurisdiction to prevent private sales, so this is why we need to make sure that no matter what happens, you get out of it for that local community, the people who are going to live there and around there the most. You know, it's difficult for me having been a resident there, so I've had to be very, very quiet. I'm still very passionate about the impact that that's going to have on the local area. did live on Station
No
Road. I'm not,
councillors could talk about it if they live on that site. That's what I find frustrating.
because we're not allowed,
I
because,
know, how crazy is that? So where's our voice for Walsham West? Because nobody's here tonight from Walsham West.
so the difficulty then comes when you look at serving public life, is when it's seen, perceived or factual that something would affect you more than the wider population. You are not supposed to verbalise on that. So despite how I would feel about it, despite how impartial I feel that I am about it, because it is seen to disproportionately affect me more than the wider community, it's seen as improper for me to be vocal about it or to be a consultee on it. And I understand that, and it prevents people from saying, you know what, I don't want it to harm my everyday, and I get that. It is frustrating. Overall, it has been very frustrating.
It's not suitable. Not suitable.
Yeah, anyway, we'll be just discussing that later in the meeting anyway, but I understand your point of view. So we move on to the finance items. So first item is to approve the expenditure since the October meeting, which is item 1 in the agenda pack.
I'll just explain some of the big, large amounts. The first one, Peter's Property Services, that is for the chapel, which will come out of the cemetery thing. There's insurance there for poppies. The MK Illuminations is for my Christmas sleigh, but we will be getting that money back. I just have to pay for it before I get the money back. What else is there? I'm just explaining the big ones. The plant hire, that's all for the water. Put the water tank and things that will come out of, and tree hoppers, the work doing in the cemetery.
Any queries on any of those? Well, I propose that we accept those. Someone like to second that? Roger, all in favour? Thank you. Item 7.2 is just to,
I put income back in again, sorry. So I thought I'd best if I put the income back in, because it's turned out.
yeah, so just to note the income that we have had since October. That's just for your information. Also to receive is the bank reconciliation, item 3 in the pack. So, for summary this evening, that's summarising our financial position.
With the CCLA savings, we get about £700 a month interest on that. I probably will be looking to transfer some of the savings in the Unity Trust instant access account into the CCLA savings, because we can automatically get that out again. So just go back to the finance next week and just let them know. I'll do that.
Just for your information, we used to have all our money into our current accounts, and we realised that was a bit stupid, so we've got a portion of our reserves earnings from interest.
Yeah.
Okay, 7.3 is a summary of the receipts and payments, item 4. Fairly detailed, but I don't think there's anything controversial in there, but
Keep up to date.
and finally 7.4. Is this the
Yeah,
example one?
King's Arms Street, but I'm going to put it in the budget, so to put 10,000 as an earmarked fund for, because I think it's already been agreed.
Well, we agreed in principle to make a contribution to doing the footpath, but we didn't agree a sum, so we actually vote to agree that's how much we would like to put into the reserve. Okay.
And we reckon we can have a balanced budget with a reasonable but not exorbitant increase in council tax by putting this into the budget.
Well, that's what I'm working on now, so I did put it in there, but I don't know whether you should agree to do it at the moment, because I just need to get the budget
my
together.
question. I'd want to see the budget. I mean, I'd like to do it.
Yeah.
There's lots of things I'd like to do. But let's see what the budget says first. But
Well, we'll discuss this at finance next week.
Got it.
So we
Yeah,
can bring
so
it
we'll
back.
Can
defer
we,
that.
can we defer that then?
Yeah.
I will be putting it in the budget, because I'm obviously in the budget, I'm going to put some other items into earmark, because we'll have to have an open spaces earmark. We're going to have a street licence earmark reserve, because the street lights will need to be replaced soon.
Not all of them. Some of them.
All the concrete ones, and they have a lifespan of 30 years. And I think they're about 40, 50 years old.
Okay, moving on to 9.1 is the letter from Steph.
Yeah.
This one,
I did send it round to you.
Yeah.
To read, I don't need to read it out, do I?
This was,
Just his updates. wasn't it?
okay, yes, yeah. 9.2, or goes to
Yeah, I've also got a letter from a member of staff. Make sure it's nothing that's confidential. So the council decided to give Michael Gay for a long service gift. He'd been employed for 43 years. He's worked for the town council. Oh, 42 years, seems a long time. But thank you very much for my lovely service gift. 42 years seems a long time, but all the same, I can't help thinking it's all passed rather quickly. In 2007, on a trip to the USA, I had a very good fortune to fly in the I-7G,
B17.
or B-17, flying fortress, owned by the Experimental Aircraft Association. Quite an experience. It's not every day you get the opportunity to fly in a General Motors or 2 bomber. I tried to imagine what it might have felt like to be in one on a daylight bombing raid over Germany, cruising peacefully over the Wisconsin countryside, and hardly begin to convey real horrors, of course. But it certainly brought it home to me just how incredibly brave these bomber crews were. A while ago, I acquired a decal set that enables me to build a model of the actual B-17 I flew in, and that is what I intended to do with the gift. Thank you once again.
Probably should have said that when we asked what you would like as a gift, you wanted a model kit.
Model kit.
A model kit,
Because he's into
Not a
building.
real plane, is it?
Yeah, I think we might notice that in North Walsham.
No, so yeah, it's just a small gift.
No,
Thank you.
43 years or 42 years is a long time, isn't it?
It is.
Your own clock's decisions.
The only decision I've had to do is there was no heating in these, so we had to get an emergency plumber out to sort that out. But there should have been a service plan put in place, and it should have been regularly serviced. I wasn't aware of that service plan. Nobody had told me about it, so we're now going to put a service plan in. And he probably will have to spend some money on, because he's sort of watched it at the moment, so they've got some heating, and he's coming back out to do a proper repair.
Who have we got?
Just a local,
Can I comment?
local heat, yeah, we can, yeah, heat engineer.
Lee West.
Lee West.
He was the original
Yeah.
fitter of it.
So he was the one who installed it, so that is the one who took it back.
Yes,
It's an air source heater,
Heat
isn't
source,
Yeah, pump.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think the call out charges £120. That's the only thing I've done.
Thank you. Item 10 is the planning applications. The first one is on Norwich Road, a proposal to demolish an old barn and build 7 units, I think. Highways have commented that the entrance is not wide enough and the visibility isn't good enough. And a member of the public who obviously knows a lot about planning has written a very detailed letter explaining why it doesn't comply with various things, but the main point being that they feel it's overdeveloped with 7 houses on that site. It's a very high ratio.
I must admit, I walked past the site this afternoon, and I've got concerns over there's enough issues on Norwich Road at the moment with
Yeah.
all the cars parked there from the other residents, and getting across out of the entrance there is not going to be easy, from that point of view. So I would have a few concerns about that plan.
Anybody else have any?
if that was where I thought it was, I just thought that the gap could take 7 dwellings, but the actual entrance onto the roof is too tight to have that many buildings in it. But that's a personal opinion.
Key point of information for everybody, I believe there is planning commission already, larger properties.
Yes, I recall those.
Footprint. So even if it's not 7, it's already planning commission.
Yeah.
Quite
Yeah.
substantial.
Yeah, that was last year, I think, I seem to recall that one.
So they're trying to change the planning to be 7.
My understanding is that they're offering 7, I think 6 small properties in lieu of the 2 larger properties. I believe that's my understanding.
Overdevelopment.
Well, that's what I was going to suggest, is that we object on the grounds of 7 houses being overdeveloped and that the traffic movements and that the access with the increased traffic movements is unacceptable.
We support highways on this occasion.
Yes, not often.
Everyone in agreement?
Yeah.
Need to vote on that? Okay.
Don't want to vote.
The second one is Spencer Avenue is a small single-storey rear extension. Which
No issues on that one.
No issue
is
on that.
straightforward.
Yeah, everybody's in agreement, yeah.
So the next item is the Station Road development, as mentioned earlier. They've already got outline planning permission for the 54 dwellings. For information clear, that was called in to the planning committee and I spoke against it and Councillor Heinrich spoke against it. So we did.
You said no twice at the full council as well.
Yes, yeah. So we objected to it, but nonetheless it got approval. This current application is purely to alter some of the landscaping and to move the entrance a couple of metres further along the station road to avoid a tree. So once we don't support the development as a whole, well, I guess these particular bits it'd be hard to argue against.
Well, is there any planning grounds of these details to object?
I can't see any really, no, it's fairly minor bits. Again, I think Highways did have some comments on the road layout.
I mean, it was from memory, this was a very protracted application going back to 22, 23, I think. It was eventually agreed as outline planning permission. But I mean, if this is detailed, unless you've got planning grounds, what can you do?
Chair, to be absolutely honest, with the present government that we've got and their build policy, we don't stand a chance of it not going through.
No, but anything we say here doesn't affect the development as a whole. This is purely the detail of planting and road layout.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't object if there's
Oh,
some
no,
planning
no.
grounds.
No, there's criteria.
If there is no planning grounds, what can you do?
Nothing.
And so I think reluctantly we have to have no objections, although
Just
Okay,
say no
so-
comment, Chairman.
Just put no comment.
No
Yeah.
comment. Because we,
It'd be silly to accept it when we've already.
yeah, we can't, no, when we've objected, we can't.
so one of the key things we objected to was the exit out onto Norwich Road, which is very poor visibility, but
Highways have let that go through, have
they
they?
did, unfortunately.
Great.
Despite me drawing a plan that showed it didn't work. Right.
Yeah, I know, Lucy can't, because she's got an interest, she can't say anything, and I'm sure she's absolutely spitting feathers about it. There you go.
Right, the last one is 43 Marsh Gate, which again is a single story rear extension, which I see any objection to. So that's all right.
So you've all agreed? Yeah.
Can I just ask a question? When people are putting forward to put extensions on their properties, are any objections from their neighbours already considered? Or
Yeah, yes, yeah.
So you get,
Yes, I mean, they will get recorded on the website. You can go on there, you can see all the comments that.
And
It's
to
actually
write
really-
it privacy, isn't there? The
Yes, they might,
distance is-
Yeah.
they might take out the address, but the comments are still there. But obviously you can only object on planning grounds, you don't just say, I don't like it, it has to be not complying with some regulation or anything. Okay. Item 11 is the minutes from the finance meeting and decisions.
Do you want me to read out my report?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, so the main finance meeting was to discuss local government reorganisation. And so the town council has expressed an interest in NNDC transferring to its all district council assets in parish except the industrial commercial units. Also, the town council has not currently expressed an interest in owning the following assets, which are Sadlerswood, Queens Road, land occupied by the football club, swimming pool complex and the site of North Walsham Community Centre. Town council now has an understanding of the process that NNDC is likely to follow and consider an expression of interest from parishes within the district to take over NNDC assets, as well as an indication of the potential costs on taking on such assets and the income that could go from it. The first assets where a decision is expected is to be made on transfers or amenity assets, i.e. play areas, open spaces and verges. The transfer of the freehold play areas plus adjoining open space at Hollybush, there's certain areas, so that comes to 23 areas of open spaces and verges and play areas. I'm not going to read them all out, but that is on our agenda pack. So there's currently £28,270, and that's down to section 106 monies, which will come across to us as well. There is a contract in place with Serco to do the grass verges and all the open spaces until 2029, which will still be in existence. So they would just be our assets, but Serco will still look after them and cut them. So the finance committee agreed.
Yeah, I mean, I would just explain, I mean, this is an expression of interest by us. This is
Yeah.
not a done deal.
No, it's expression of interest.
That's for the district council now to respond to the interest that we specifically expressed over this. There are other assets which we could potentially have an interest in, but at the moment we're starting with the amenity assets. And if what our understanding is that there is amenity monies relating to section 106 planning agreements, that will wash its face in terms of the extra costs. The other thing is that some years ago, I think it's a decade now, the town council took over, had a contract with the county council for cutting and maintaining verges, highway verges. That's been very successful. And certainly the number of complaints that were in existence about verge cutting fell considerably, partly because our ground staff are around the area. If it's dry, they don't cut so much. If it's wetter, they cut a lot more. So that's worked very successfully. And the play equipment that's involved with those assets, that has been regularly inspected by the district council. And as far as from our own inspections and what we know, that's in good order.
Yeah, I've had a copy of the gospel report, so I'll check this.
And certainly we have experience in looking after play equipment. Some of the play equipment in the town belongs to the town council anyway, and we were seeing some more now that North Walsham Play is no longer in existence. So that's where we start, but I just have to emphasise this is an expression of interest. Doesn't necessarily mean yet it's going to happen.
Yeah, that was at the beginning of the report.
Any questions on that?
The thinking behind all of this is that whatever local government reorganisation brings about, what we're anxious to do is to maintain and preserve the amenities that are particularly important in town.
So the key point is that this wouldn't cost us anything until 2029. There's a dowry of money coming with it, which will cover another few years. So there's a long way ahead before we start to feed that into our annual budgets.
But what we will be doing in the budget is an earmarked reserve and putting, every year we'll be putting money into that earmarked reserve.
If we're going to take over, we'll have to see where this takes us, but I mean, clearly, if there's some further assets may or may not, if they do come, then we need to build up some reserves to look after.
Yeah. Have to.
But the whole emphasis of this is maintaining the existing amenities in the town.
Well, we don't want them closing, do we?
No, that's exactly right.
And we also want to watch that the 106 money that has a time zone is actually employed before it's returned as well.
Well, historically, I'm well aware of that.
So for this meeting, we just need to agree that to place an expression or
Yes,
expression
so
of interest to the district.
we need to agree the finance committees and agree all their recommendations because it's in the finance committee.
That was the only item at the meeting, wasn't it?
Yes, I mean,
Yeah.
there is but that's all we can do at this stage. I think confidentially, there's no harm in just indicating to officers that we have other interests, but.
Yeah, I have to, they've already asked me if we've made a decision yet, and I've got to reply tomorrow.
But I think we need to indicate that this is just the first step. Some other assets that we potentially could have some interest
Can I ask, Chad, it's probably an opportune moment, Wendy, when will we actually have the information to look at for next Thursday? 4th, isn't it, in our next meeting?
Tuesday.
Next
The
Tuesday.
budget will go out on Thursday. The agenda and the budget will go out on Thursday.
Just gives me some reading time.
Okay. So you're proposing we
Yeah.
accept all those? Happy to second that?
Right, I need to take a vote. Is everybody in favour? Can you put your hands up?
Okay, thank you. Item 12 is to receive the DMA minutes and decisions. There's one here, as I say.
No, Roger's charity, you know.
I mean, you're out on that.
You've got a bigger copy than the eyesight.
There's a minute there.
Yeah. Obviously, the meeting was held and we discussed a few points that needed to be addressed and obviously move these forward. The key update on there was was it the Vicar Street car park, wasn't it, saying it was being turned back on the lights issue we had there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For the area going through that.
Lucy's dealing with that.
Has been picked up, discussion point. James gave us his update in relation to the work that's being done around the town. One interested part is when people do actually start to recognise you are part of the town council now, a few people have actually stopped and said the area looking a lot tidier and nicer. So that's good to get feedback as well from the people out there, especially the churchyard was a real turning point, which we discussed. So that was long overdue to get that piece done. Trackside, which we discussed, which is an ongoing issue. Initially, that was through North Walsham Play. That has been handed over to us as the town council now, and we are going to go back to the contractor to discuss the water issues that are sitting there, which are present in relation to the soakaway. Some investigation work's been done previously, where they found rubble and other bits and things that weren't necessarily meant to be in that space, and whether the soakaway is super sufficient for the requirement of that area. So that's
I'd like me to
ongoing.
give you an update on that.
Have you
I've spoken to Matt Smith, who used to be North Walsham
Yeah.
today. He has tried to contact his contact at Gravity, and they were meant to be ringing me, but they haven't done it now, so I'll be writing them a letter tomorrow.
Obviously, this
Just
is
give them a chance.
Yeah.
We are going to ask them, as we were
7 days
suggesting,
notice,
7 days
yeah.
notice, and we'll put it in the hands of solicitors.
And this goes to the fact that there comes a point where the duty care is placed upon us to maintain that sign of good working order. And if the water's shit and as weather starts to get colder, there's ice and other good stuff there, and you don't stop children playing in that weather, they'll still play.
In fact, it filled up yesterday. Over the weekend, it was filled, and Cranston did go and use their water pump to get the water. Every time that happens, they will have to go down, so it's not cost effective, but they will have to go down and clear it. Otherwise, I'll have to close the skate park because it's too dangerous.
Well, it's the contractor's fault. So they need to reply.
And obviously, part of the HAS update in the town, well, the upgrade was the benches that were placed in there. They're now needing some love. They've been down for a while, so that is this the one you're referring to? You've written to them to that from the meeting that we actually had in relation to who's going to preserve those. If not, they'll just deteriorate, and then we'll probably find ourselves put a composite on top of those. They can last even longer, but you're just waiting on response now from NDC for that. And the issue of the refuse bins that we have currently located on the site, which is just to the Hughes, isn't it?
Yeah, so
That's
some
right.
of them are districts, we have to say though, I think it was mainly to do with the poppies bin. I have spoken to Colin and he is going to be liaising with Norma to see whether they can go to committee.
And the longest discussion of the night was round about the discussion of the poo bins, dog poo bins. Obviously,
I've had another request today.
as you can imagine, you know, all jokes. So it's quite a emotive subject. Obviously, you know, dogs found on the footways and pathways, or also people who bag it and then decide to leave it balanced on someone else's garden fence or on a
Tree.
just left and thrown there. As an example, one year I removed 56 bags from a tree of multiple colours, you know, which was not far from where I live, but there's a bin now placed there. So the decision was made, and we are going to undertake a bit of a dog poo bin survey to look at where the bins are located and where people do actually walk. So there's no point putting bins where people aren't going to take dogs, basically. So it was quite an emotive subject, but I think we got there in the end with that there. And then obviously the chair or the town mayor discussed around he'd been on a meeting in relation to the old fingerboards and posts, weren't you? If you just like to give a quick update on that, where you are with that.
We're waiting.
Yeah, this district have got a lot of money from a government scheme to improve wayfinding around market towns, so we're likely to get some replacement fingerboards, but additional fingerboards to direct people from car parks and around the town. So obviously at the moment, if you park in a car park, it's not obvious where the town is, so you need some more direction finding. So, and that has to be spent by the end of the financial year, so we should see some quick action on that.
They did want to know if we wanted to have any murals and other big things they were interested in, so we haven't gone that far yet, but we might do.
Directing people is the most important one, and we get more for our money doing that.
Just on Sainsbury's, this has taken probably about a year. So it was raised, I believe, probably the same time last year by Sergeant, one of our beat managers. So at first, Sainsbury's have said they're not ours, but the majority of lights in their car park are the same lights. And it goes down the footway not only from the car park to Sainsbury's, but also as you go down to Windsor Road. There's been a bit of a pushback. We've managed to have been escalated to a regional customer, national customer services manager, who has assured me they're getting repaired. It's actually the local branch that is slowing down on this. But also there's another issue where next to the petrol station there's a really untidy garden space. I've got it out to Laura and Wendy today. It's like a bush area which is overgrown and pushed the fence over. So I think there's probably a little bit of work to do that the branch needs to tidy up that space a little bit. So I would write again, but it would be helpful potentially to get some letter of support or action from the town council just to back that up. Because it does affect a lot of things. And it looks untidy and unloved. And it's just, we might have 3 supermarkets, but Sainsbury's need to.
Well, we had a discussion, didn't we, about collecting trolleys as well, and James is returning them.
There's an app. There is an app. Sorry. Side question, really sorry to say, it just indulge me. There is an app where you can report the trolley and the location and the supermarket. And the supermarket is then, supermarket's obliged to collect them. I'll send it to you so you can send it around to.
Oh yes, please.
And they're obliged to collect them because it's their property. I think the only one in the area that isn't part of it, I think, is Boys. Obviously, they're not a national supermarket.
Yeah, but
and occasionally
we don't actually see but
you find a road Boys trolley every now and
but
again.
normally only in the town. You don't find them far out.
But there is a reporting app.
Oh,
Laura, you will love it.
I'll love it too.
Just one point from the issues with the lights for the Sainsbury's police. Have there been any issues of antisocial behaviour or anything reported to the police or persons being threatened, which has escalated this process?
I don't believe there has been, but we did some years ago some work in the town about places where people feel unsafe. And I think for many people who will walk that way to the supermarket, it's so dark. It is quite scary for a lot of people. There have been times, I'm not somebody that I would class as being easily intimidated, but I tend to walk around and go to Sainsbury's just because you've got to avoid risk where risk potentially doesn't exist.
It's not comfortable.
But the darkness creates discomfort. So we have a lot of older residents who feel uncomfortable.
No, sure. Well, if you have some data from the police to say there was a concern, that may escalate the letter that we can send to the.
I think it's a dark spot in the town. There's no light there, therefore it's a potential area for safety.
You go from a car park to a car park.
Just going back to poo bins. And being the owner of a big black Labrador that walks twice a day and I bag it up and put it in poo bins and what have you. Is there some chance of possibly signage and then when I say signage, I mean as in a fine?
Yeah, there are some signs.
Sling,
Took a picture today.
you know.
There are signs.
There are
Yes.
signs.
That's my pet peeve is that having picked it up and I pick other people's up and I pick other people's bags up, that then all of a sudden you look in a tree and you go, why have you just hung that there?
Yeah, I know.
If you're not going to pick it up, sling it in the side, but don't put it in a plastic bag and then hang it on a tree. And they're the people that you want to try and stop.
Very hard to police, so isn't it? The problem is, with all that. But there's a piece of work being done in relation to ensure that we can look at adequate
All
receptacles.
dog poo bin can go in normal bins, so whether we just have one bin, a normal bin now to put, so it's everything rather than just have.
It would be
Poo
good
bins
if
and
the
normal bins.
bin said on it, this
Accepts them.
takes
The
dog
new ones-
waste
the new
as
ones
well.
do, don't
But
they?
some of the
Yeah.
new ones do, and the new ones do say, but the old ones, they said dog waste only or litter only.
That'll be part of the project.
Yeah.
So in terms of the meeting itself, with the only price we discussed, which is really relevant, was the poppies lease, which will pick up that piece still on our DNA piece. But all in all, I think the work being done around the town by the grounds team has made a massive improvement, and so to get some feedback from people is quite refreshing that it's noticed rather than goes unnoticed.
Okay. You're proposing those minutes?
Yep, so for those in attendance of the meeting, propose I take a record of that meeting. And so they did, yeah.
That takes us to the last item of items for the next agenda.
I've just got a few things. Well, I've got the lease, so Poppy's lease, it runs out in April, so Christmas time next month, we'll be looking at a lease. I'll probably doing it Roger, I think Ellen's done leases before, so if we could both get together to go through the lease. There are some things that we don't, we need to just get a 5-year lease in place. So, I also wanted to let you know that the churchyard is a closed churchyard and North Walsham Town Council looks after that closed churchyard, and that is official and legal. I made sure of that. Children's Day should be asking permission to use the churchyard because we maintain it, we look after it. So if there's any damage, so I will be getting the person who organises Children's Day to fill out a EMP, to fill out risk assessments, because they've never done it in the past. So if they do contact any councillor and say, why are we doing this? We just have to say we have to refer back to MD because it is policy and this is what is happening.
We have to have policies.
Yeah. Because it is our churchyard. It's not going to the vicar and asking if they can do something in the churchyard, they need to come to us.
It also ties in with the police tightening up on the
Yeah,
next generally.
down the Wrangling is really tightening up. The sergeant Pete manager is tightening up on events, so we need to be doing everything correctly. I just thought I'd let you know that.
Yeah. Obviously, those sort of things that come up in a minute and the budget will be in the next one.
Nobody's got any big projects they want me to put into the budget.
I've got some lighting that we could do within town. So I walked through, you know where the Black Swan Garden is?
Yeah.
So I walked through there the other night, it was probably about 9:30, 10. The Black Swan was shut, so all their lights were out and it was pitch black.
It's really
And I
dark.
walked through to the car and it was, I couldn't see a thing. That really surprised me. I guess because I've never walked through when the pub's been lit up, but there was no lights on in there. And
That's
it
not our
was,
asset yet, but it may be.
okay.
So if it becomes our asset, but if not, I'll have to go to district. And
Is it on
ask
the
them.
list?
Hmm?
Is it on the list?
It is on the list, yes.
What's no doubt.
Yeah, that was really dark. I was quite
Yes.
We could go to
surprised.
district and get them asked if they will install it before we take that on.
I don't know what the cost of installing a light is, it won't be cheap.
No.
What did you got any idea?
It depends when you run it off though, depending on what you put in there, whether you put an IP65 rated light on the outside, which are like the dome lights that illuminate around the wall. But if you're starting to put proper street setting lights in, they do become quite expensive because then you've got ground feed and all the other bits that go.
If we have
the ones that are wall
No, it was pitch black. And it wasn't late.
There's a lamp post in the corner of the Black Swan car park, which we've got our CCTV camera on, which is presumably illuminating the car park, and they could put another arm on it to illuminate the other side.
But run the power from that, couldn't they, if it's soft power?
I'll show you how to report broken streetlights.
Potholes as well?
Yeah.
Done those yet?
I've learned a lot today.
So is Wendy, wear good shoes.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? It was inappropriate.
Right, so next forthcoming meetings, we've got the Finance Committee next Tuesday on the 2nd. Next full council is on the 16th of December. And then the winter meetings in the new year. So with that, we'll close the meeting.
Thank you,
Thank
Chairman.
you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I might.
Yeah. Because I'm not there. It's easy.
So Sunday,
I've got a function on 16th. I've got second, 3rd, 5th, 16th.
Help if I actually took my phone, wasn't it? Yes. Jeez. I'm now going to go and see how the hole is.
And now I think that's the board. Yeah.
Where are the ears for?
I don't
Oh,
know.
and.
Upstairs, I'd have thought. So they're doing this overnight? Go and see if they drop tools if I go over there with my camera. Yeah.
They're not drilling on the tarmac. I can't tell whether or not they're at the cobbly bit.
But isn't that where they did that a few, like, when one of the,
It's not far off, is it, Mal?
is it not
Far
the
off
same
because they
spot?
did the kids with the hair.
didn't hear you.
Sorry, where the hairdressers was where they did it last time.
On that corner?
Yeah, it's not far. Oh, God. Let's hope it doesn't start that again.
No,
It was
'cause-
Mandy last time, it lost power and then it went all the way
Oh,
down the
last
street.
time they had to dig up the entire street all
They
the
did.
way.
Oh.
For the power bill.
Yeah, because I think there was a street light that didn't have the light above it, not a street light, a sign.
Problem is, every time
They've got
they
a digger
pull,
in there, Claire.
every time they pull up those cobble brick things, it's making sure that they put them back
They never put
properly,
them back
because
properly.
otherwise, no, they don't.
It's really annoying.
But if they don't put them back properly, then highways are empowered to request them to do the work to a better standard.
Well,
So we
why
don't.
can't they just do that in the first place?
Well,
Save a bit of money.
just
They
if
would,
it
you know,
if it is the cobbles, sorry Clay, if it is the cobbles or if they've removed any paving slabs, can you get a video of that?
Well, that's what
Because
Mike can
occasionally, of the actual slabs, because occasionally what happens is they break the slabs
Yeah, I know.
and then they don't put them back and we get slabs that aren't to the standard that we want for the town. But I'm surprised they've got a mini digger in there.
Well, they're going to have a mini digger to get to it, aren't they? See you later. Let's go and find out what's happening. Carry on living it, shall we? If we can. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. That's right. You're actually pulling up the. Wasn't this the hole that happened last time?
There was an excavation here before, yes.
And is it the same issue?
We're not sure yet.
But it's electric, right?
Yes, electric. You okay? Did you want any information from us at all?
I'm just thinking, actually, with what I've just been told about the bricks.
What bricks? So what the ones that come off the road?
Yeah, well, yeah, in the pathway, because we weren't sure whether or not it was actually the road or the pathway, but it's both, isn't it?
Both, yeah. Are you videoing?
Yes.
Can we help you with anything else at school?
So you're going to be carrying on doing this overnight, aren't you?
Yes. So the you've got the barbers or hairdressers off supply.
So that is what has happened last time, right? Okay.
Yeah, we don't know if it's the same issue because obviously there's new joints in there. We've got street column furniture that's off as well.
Right.
So we're investigating that at the same time.
And this is all going to be done by tomorrow?
I'd hope so. That's the plan. Yeah.
Because we've got market on Thursday and we've got a Christmas street thing on Saturday.
Yeah,
So you're kind of
against
time, really, aren't you?
If we can get it done tonight, we can have this reinstated tomorrow.
Okay.
That's the plan. Get it all done before the switch.
Cool. Cool.
That's the intention.
Right.
Obviously, we'll carry on going through the night. The only reason we stop is if we get complaints of noise.
You haven't done as yet. The main concern is the bricks and the pathway gets put back without being broken. But you look like you're doing okay. So
yeah, so it's difficult getting them up because I say that they're sort of cemented in. So we haven't broken any yet, lifting them up. All these are quite nicely.
That's
the ones
good.
Here are the original, so they are cemented in, but they still have come up quite well. We haven't broken any yet.
Don't say yet. Don't say yet.
So we're doing the best we can. Like I say, the reinstatement teams. Like I say, they've dug this up before. So
Yeah. Well, this was only within the last couple of months.
really.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
The lady in the shop, she said it was like a year ago.
No. Because the last time I came down with the camera just to make sure. No, I didn't have my camera actually, not that time. But I spoke to one of the workers. Because obviously, this keeps happening up and down here, and considering this actually cost 4 million, and every time something is dug up and put back, it's not saying it's you guys, it's a lot of services that's happened up and down here, and it's just a case of, for fuck's sake,
Yeah, it's not ideal. Unfortunately, it's just the network is becoming increasingly stressed over time with more load and more demand. And
more houses.
Unfortunately, the infrastructure.
I know.
Doesn't always, but that's not to say that is the issue.
Well, this was definitely done after summer. It's definitely done within the last, I want to say 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's surprised. I didn't realise that. So
yeah, because it's the same shop.
yeah.
But if you're going to worry about every time somebody with a camera's going to come along, you're not going to get your job done very well.
No, people people are a bit concerned about having their face on camera, especially these days. Everything goes online, everything's viewable.
CCTV, you've probably got it on your vans and all, haven't you?
No, we
Your shops
haven't,
have.
but it's understandable why people get concerned with them on camera. If someone spot a bit, we're doing a dangerous job. We're looking around utilities, we're trying to find faults. There's a lot to worry about on top of being recorded and put online. It's the general concern. It's not nice. We're out in the elements, we're out in the dark.
And the thing is, you're being nice about it.
Yeah, no, of course. If like I say, we're happy to give you as much information as we can. We don't want to cause anyone disturbance. If we get noise complaints, we stop. But
Well, I think,
we try and balance it when we get the electric back.
you got these guys up here.
No, I'm surprised they haven't. Usually, people are generally good. We don't get.
Well, this was meant to be done 2 days ago, wasn't it?
What's that? Sorry.
This was meant to happen 2 days ago.
Well, they've only just gone off.
Now with the works, so this isn't even to do with the work that was put up for that one day.
No, so they've only just come off. They've gone off today. Oh yeah.
Oh, God.
The shop will be open tomorrow.
We're hoping so. Yeah, we're looking for the top day. We're trying to get it fixed now.
Hello.
She said she had to shut it
Yeah.
today. There's no
Electric. And that was only a few months ago it happened as well, wasn't
yeah,
it?
she had it done happened a month back as well.
And it's definitely the same spot as well. So there's got to be some, yeah.
We're not 100% sure at the moment. That's why we're going to dig this way a little bit and open
All this digging up.
No, not
It's quite big, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Especially them old slabs.
Yes.
I was just explaining to them, the street cost us 4 million, so don't damage it.
No, that would be bad. I say if we did damage anything, we are obliged to replace them like for like. We get all this.
Oh no, I see it today. Are you going to be open tomorrow? I'll have to check in the morning, see if she is.
I'd have to check the association and as well, because I don't think she's mentioned anything in the association group. So I'm going to have to find out.
Oh, she was here because I walked past and she said, I just went for a coffee and then 3 hours she waited and then somebody turned up and it was a trip bottle off and walked down to the office. So she.
Heavy rainfall as well. That seems to.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me about it.
Oh, Annie, rather than us.
Absolutely.
No worries.
Yeah, I think I'm going to send her a text as well. I thought it was to do with the job that was put out a couple of days ago.
No, so we've got some barrier systems down the end there, haven't we? Down to the bottom of the road and then go around the corner. We've got the.
Yeah, because there's been works there as well, isn't there?
Look like they've finished that. That's all been reinstated, so all those can come down.
Yeah.
There was actually about maybe 2 or 4 months ago, we had some barrier system set up just down there on the left-hand side. I don't know if you remember that. That was us again. It was a different part of the network. And then obviously this one, like I say, if you're saying that.
Now this one, because the TMO was out a couple of nights ago, getting it all ready, and finding out off him what has been happening. But right, hopefully you'll get this done for tomorrow.
I hope so.
And then Thursday market is up, and well, as long as it's done before Saturday. My God, because this street is all going to be shut. That street is all going to be shut.
Yeah, on the closures we put in for emergency reinstatement, and they usually within a day or two. There's no reason we can't get it done by tomorrow either.
Good.
We'll put that through as soon as we can, especially with closure like this.
Right. Right, thank you very much.
No, thank you. Nice to see you. All the best.
Cheerio. And that's that. We'll just have a quick look at the community shop window. Look at that one. Right, catch you all later. Yeah.